Greetings, friend. I will reveal to you the one Sudoku strategy that will get you unstuck from puzzles time and time again, including this one. This strategy is so powerful that you can use it in place of other strategies to eliminate more candidates and solve more cells. Stick around and I will reveal some more fun facts about my Friday featured setter, Bondye. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go, and with that, it's solving time. First thing you want to notice, you got this 9 coming down column 4 and column 6 with the 9 cutting across row 8. You can solve a 9 right here. That's a hidden single. The next place I want you to look is across row 4. There's something interesting going on. You have the digits 3, 5, and 7, and that doesn't seem that big of a deal. But if you look in column 2, you'll notice you got a 1, 2, 6, and 8. And then also in column 8, you have a 1, 2, 6, and 8. You got this 1 right here, but you also have the 2, 6, and 8. That means you have 7 digits looking at these 2 cells. It means what's remaining is only a 4 and a 9 in both of those cells. So this is a naked pair 4 and 9. And I'll color this because this is going to be important to us. All right, whenever you have a naked pair like that, then you can't have the 4 and 9 anywhere else along row 4. And this creates some restriction because now all that we have left to fill in these 4 cells is 1, 2, 6, and 8. Well, I have a 1 and a 6 right here in block 6, and I have an 8 right here in column 5, and then I have the 2 right there. And that might not seem that much. We can actually eliminate the 6 from right there too, but we did create a couple of bi-value cells, a 1, 2, and a 2, 8. Now let's look at these 2 cells. What could these cells be? This cell looks like it could be a 1, but it can't be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 9. So that can only be a 1 or an 8. Nice. And then what could this cell be? It looks like it could only be, it can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, can't be a 5, 6, 7. It could be an 8 or a 9. We have our first advanced strategy here, and this is going to be related to what I told you was the most powerful strategy there is. What you want to look at is these 3 cells here. Okay, these 3 cells form the smallest form of an XY chain, and it's called an XY wing. So how do I know that this is a nice little XY chain? Well, what we have is all bi-value cells, and we have all 3 combinations of the digits 1, 2, and 8. All 3 paired combinations. So you have a 1, 2 here, a 1, 8 here, and a 2, 8 there. And then one of these cells, the 1, 2, sees the other 2 cells, the 2, 8, and the 1, 8. So this is called your pivot cell. And I'll put that as a yellow cell there. And these are called your pinchers. And what it means is we can apply this XY chain logic to help us eliminate and solve a cell. So here's how the XY chain works, or the XY wing. In simplest terms, you know, if this is a 1, that has to be an 8. If this is a 2, that has to be an 8. So an 8 has to be in one of these purple cells. You can eliminate 8 from either one. The way the logic works for an XY chain is like this. This 8 has a strong link to the 2. It means if this 8 is false, if it's not an 8, then this has to be a 2. That's all it means by a strong link. And then this 2 has a weak link to this 2. So there could be more 2s along the row, and that's okay. What it means is if this 2 is true, then this 2 is false. So it's a weak link. And of course, this 2 would be false as well. So you go 8 to the 2, so strong link to the 2, weak link to this 2, strong to the 1, weak to this 1, strong to the 8. So if you start and end with strong links, then you know you have a valid XY chain. And this is great stuff. So this XY chain, you know, it basically takes over the XY wing, and we can make a solve. We can eliminate an 8 from this cell right here. This is awesome. And we can solve this cell now for a 9. And what that does for us is it allows us to solve this cell for a 4 and this cell for a 9. So we got a lot of progress early on in this puzzle. I found this as like, wow, I don't normally find an XY wing this early in a puzzle, but it's a very good and powerful one for us to find. But we're not done. We got a lot more to go in this puzzle. There's some more advanced strategies you need, and we're just getting started. Okay, once you put this 9 here, now we can actually start focusing up here on row 1, and we can make some more eliminations. All right, what you might see is you got in this column, we have a 1, 2, 6, 8, 9. And then up here in the block, you got a 4. And then over here in the row, 3 to 7. So this has to be a 5. That's the only thing that can be in that cell. Like, okay, that's cool, Timberlake. And if you continue to look across here, we have some more restrictions. Now we put that 5 there. The next thing we can look at is right here in column 8. So you got a 1, 2, 3 in the block. You have a 4, 5, 6, 7 outside the block, 8 outside the block. This has to be a 9. So now we can solve that cell for a 9. Great. And then another thing you can notice is you have this 4 and a 6 right here. So that means the 4 and 6 cannot be in these two cells. You also have a 4 and a 6 right here. It means the 4 and 6 cannot be in this cell. The only two cells left where a 4 and a 6 can be in row 1 is right there. So that's another naked pair. All right, of the 4 and the 6, which means this has to be the remaining 3 cells of a 1 and a 2 and an 8. So a 1, 2, and an 8. And since an 8's right here in block 5, we can eliminate the 8 from there. And then these 8's become basically a claiming pair of 8's. All right, and I did a little Snyder notation. Anytime a 3 by 3 block, you can limit candidate 2 spaces in that block, mark it. Since the 8 can't be anywhere else along here, the 8's got to be in row 1 there in block 1. Okay, after doing that 1, 2, 8, we're actually going to be able to make a solve because now the 8's can't be anywhere else along row 1. You got this 8 in row 2. You have this 8 coming up. We can solve for an 8 right here. So we can solve that cell for an 8, and now we're going to be able to clean up row 4 because this has to be a 2. That's a 1. That's an 8. Get the 1, 2, 8. This has to be a 6, and this is going to be an 8. And then with this one, this is a 2. And with the 8 and the 2, this is a 1. And then here's going to be your other 8. Pretty cool, huh? We got all that knocked out. But we still got advanced strategies. So you cannot give up on this puzzle just yet. All right. Now, what we can look at is we can do a little bit more solving with the 8's. Okay, you got this 8 cutting across, this 8 coming up. That means there's only one place for an 8 in block 6. And then with these two 8's and these two 8's, you can solve for an 8 here in block 8. And now we've solved all of the 8's. Okay, after solving the 8's, let's look at the 1's. We got 1 here in row 4 and row 6. You got this 1 in row 3. So this is the only place left for 1 in block 4. Nice. And now you got these two 5's. You have these two 5's. We can solve for 5 right here in block 7. And you got this 2 coming down, this 2 cutting across. We can solve for 2 right there. Nice. Something else a little bit harder to see, but it's going to help us right away, is you want to look across row 3, and where can a 4 go? Can't be here because of this 4. Can't be here because of this 4, and it can't be here because of this 4. This cell has to be a 4. It's the only one in row 3, which means now we can solve this 6 and the 4 in row 1. So we found and cleaned up all those spots, but we're not done. We're still going to need advanced strategies. You're going to get stuck, and we're going to use that powerful strategy to rule them all in order to get past this next point. Okay, in order to do that, we're going to need to fill out a little bit of this puzzle. What you might notice is you only have 3 candidates left here in block 1. All right, 2, 6, and 7. That can't be a 6 because of the 6 in block 1. This can't be a 2. And this could be possibly a 2, 6, or 7. Okay, we actually can fill out one more 9 right here. Let's get that in there. But then what can be in this? I mean, it looks like a 2, 3, or a 7. This can't be a 2. All right, looking good there. And then we want to come over here and fill out block 3. I'm just going to get you what you need to fill out to get to the next advanced strategy. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 5, 6, or a 7. And what you're going to see is a lot of BVCs, I call them by value cells. That's going to be a 5, 6. That's going to be a 5, 7. That's going to be 6, 7. Whenever you're starting to see a lot of buy value sells, you know there's an advanced strategy in the works here. Is there a way we can connect these and try to make some good solves? And believe it or not, the row you want to focus on that's going to give you the key is actually here in row 7. This will be the quickest way to get through the solving here. All right, so what do we have? We only have a 5, 8, or 9. All right, so what can we put in this cell? It looks like you have a 1, 2, 3. You can put a 4, and we can put a 7 right there. All right, what can be in this cell? Of a 1, 2, or 3, we can put 1, 2, or 3. What can be in this cell? It looks like it could be 4, 6, or a 7. Okay, and then in this cell, looks like you got 1, 3, 1, 3, 7, and in this cell right here, 2, 3, or a 6 is what could be in that. And this doesn't look like much to you. I'm like, okay, Timberlake, I don't really see why you bothered filling that out. That doesn't look helpful at all. But I'll show you how it's going to become immensely helpful. If we can remove one particular digit from here, or two particular digits, you're going to be able to solve the rest of this puzzle. We actually need to find another advanced strategy intermediate. This is not the one that rules them all, but this is one that's going to help you out. When you get kind of stuck, and you're going to get stuck here, you cannot solve any more cells without an advanced strategy. You want to look for single candidate strategy. So let's look at these threes. Okay, where could a 3 be? It can be in these 2 spots, these 2 spots, these 3 spots, these 2 spots, here, and it looks like here. Okay, get rid of this 3, and this 3. Let's highlight this in a nice color. Let's go for orange. And what you might notice is we have a swordfish. You can look at 2 different ways. I'll show you in the way I see first. It makes the same eliminations. This is a symmetrical swordfish. So if you go in column 2, column 6, and column 8, you'll notice that the 3s are limited to the same 3 rows, rows 2, 6, and 7. Whenever you have that situation, that is a Sudoku swordfish. And an easy way to kind of see, you could have 2 or 3 of these possible in the column, but they got to be in the same 3 rows. And easy way, look, if you put a 3 here, you eliminate the possibility for a 3 in these 2 spots. And so then it forces a 3 right here, which will eliminate the possibility for a 3 right there, and this would force a 3 right here. And so you see, no matter how you explain it, you can put the 3 in the other spot, and the 3s will end up in one of these blue squares. And so then we can eliminate any other possibility for 3 in those rows, rows 2, 6, or 7. So I will show you a little bit of how that works right here. So what I'm saying is this could never be a 3 because it would break the puzzle. So we can eliminate 3 in this spot and create another buy value cell. That's huge for us, all right? And then the other place we can eliminate a 3 is right here because it's in row 6. And so you could have 3, 4, 6, or 7. Well, now you can't have a 3 anymore. So this is going to be a 4, 6, or 7. We'll come back to that a little bit. If you want to be challenged and you understand swordfish and you want to see some great handmade classics, I have puzzle packs for my Smarty Party members. I'm doing one right now with Jovial. It's got this fascinating strategy that you will love to learn, and the way she does it educates you through each puzzle. Click on the pinned comment below to get the membership and get that pack. All right, let's get rid of all these colors, and we made some eliminations and created a 2, 6 right there. Now we have the grounds for that one strategy that rules them all. And I already showed you the strategy before. I showed you that nice little XY chain, which is actually an XY wing, the smallest version of it. Now we're going to go a little bit bigger with our XY chain. Whenever you get in trouble and you have a lot of BVCs, this is a strategy you want to use. So the way it works, you're looking to see, can I make some kind of elimination combining 2 strategies? I see I have 2 in here, I see a 2 here. If I can combine these 2 cells through an XY chain, I can eliminate 2 from this cell and make some solves happen. So let's see if we can do that. All right, we'll start here. 2 to the 6, 6 to the 5, 5 to the 7, 7 to the 2. So what that means is either this cell is a 2. If it's not a 2, it'd be a 6, that'd be a 5, that'd be a 7, that'd be a 2. So no matter how we look at it, one of these purple cells has to be a 2. And so we can eliminate a 2 from any cell that sees both of them. We can eliminate a 2 from right here. There are actually some other XY chains you can apply at this moment in the puzzle. This is going to be the quickest one to get us to the solve. But I encourage you to look, fill out more of these cells, and see if you can find a couple more XY chains and really practice at that. This is awesome. If you're just not familiar how XY chains work and you want to get more on a tutorial, I have a very popular tutorial. I'll put a link to it right here. You can check that out as well. But now it's time for my fun fact about my Friday featured setter, Bondye. I asked Bondye, where do you get inspiration for your puzzles? And Bondye said he draws it from various sources, other setters, usually ones with uncommon rule sets. He likes to make a lot of variants. I actually put a variant. If you check out my community tab, you can see the variant that I solved of his. He also likes to practice specific solving techniques. So in setting the puzzle with a particular technique, it helps him understand the technique himself, but also the ability to recognize in other puzzles. So he's setting puzzles to get better at solving puzzles. I love that. And I've featured many of Bondye's puzzles on this channel for that reason. They're so much fun to solve, and they show these great strategies like I just showed you here. Now, let's get rid of these colors. There you have a 6, 7 right here. The only place left for 2 in row 1 is, in column 1 is up here. So that's got to be a 2 now. Once that's a 2, we're going to be able to make some more solves here. And by eliminating the 2 down here, we create another nice strategy. This is a 4, 6, 7 naked triple. You'll notice the 4, 6, and 7 in row 7 are limited to the same 3 cells, right? They can only be 4, 6, or 7. So that means 4, 6, or 7 cannot be anywhere else outside the 3 purple cells. So you can eliminate a 7 from right here and a 6 from right there. And so this will allow us to solve this cell for a 2. And then we can eliminate a 2 from right there because we just put a 2 there. This nice 1-2 punch is what you need to make some significant progress in this puzzle moving forward. You got to find that naked triple as well. Because what it does is now you see you got the 1 and 2 here. You have this 2. You can solve for a 2 right here in block 8. And with these 2s, there's only one place for a 2 in block 7. Nice. And so we're able to put in all the 2s. After doing the 2s, now you want to look at the 6s. You look in block 4, what you might notice, actually in column 3 here, where can a 6 be? Can't be here because of this 6. Can't be here because of this 6. So in block 4, this is where the 6 has to be because it's got to be somewhere in column 3, which allows us to solve the 7 and the 6 right here. And we can eliminate a 6 from that cell. And now we're going to be able to make some more progress. Because once you put this 7 here, the only place left for a 7 in block 5 is right there, which allows us to solve this cell for a 5. Awesome. And then after solving the 5, what can we do in these 2 cells here? All right, we don't have a 4. Here's your 4 cutting across. So this has got to be a 4, and then this has got to be a 3, which allows us to now to clean up a lot of these BVCs that we created, all right? So that's got to be a 3. This has to be a 7. Here's got to be your 4. And you see how nice this is starting to work for us with this 7. This is now the 5. This is now the 6. You basically can go back and solve all those cells that were part of that XY chain. That's got to be a 7 here. Now we have a full house cutting across row 3. So this has got to be your 3, the only candidate missing. And now we look across here. It looks like we're missing a 1 and a 5 in this block. I can't actually solve the 1 or 5 yet, but if you look right there, we can. So there's your 1. Here's your 5. Here's your 3. And here is your 1. Nice. We got another full house right here. I don't see a 3 in row 6, so that's got to be your 3. And this would have to be your 5. After that 5, let's look over here. We got another full house within the block. These are easier to find, knowing that has to be a 4. Okay, and with the 4 and this 4, we know we can solve for 4 right here. Awesome. And this 1 means this has to be your 1. This has to be your 7 to finish block 8. And now with these 2 7s, this has to be your 7 in block 9. Okay, we have 3 cells remaining, a 3, a 6, a 9. I see the 9 cutting across first, so I know that has to be your 9. And then I see this 6, which means this has to be your 3, and this has to be your 6. I didn't have enough time to show you the complete power of XY chains. But check out this other video to see XY chains applied in a way you probably haven't seen before. I want to thank Bondye for being my Friday featured setter for the month of July, and I want to thank you so much for watching.